I've got Bruce Seidner of New Jersey with me here. Bruce, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Great. And Bruce just got done speaking, and everybody loved it. He's got a great story to tell. So, Bruce, why don't you start telling us about, how you started in dentistry and...
Well, basically I got started like everybody else. Well, not like everybody else. A lot of the presenters here had family members that they overtook practices from. Mm-hmm. I basically started from scratch, opened an office in a small little condo, and we started initially a 2-chair office, and to me it was the biggest office I'd ever be in at the time. Actually, the dental supply guy who set up our office said, guys don't even finish this big. This is all you'll ever need. So, we grew like, most, had trials and tribulations. The practice grew over time, we got to a respectable level. And then once we hit the $1 million mark, we thought that was it.
When was this?
This was in 1999. We hit $1 million for the year.
1999 hit $1 million for the year. And your facility at that time and number of staff?
We were up to 4 chairs. I was still the only doctor. I think we were up to 2 hygienists, 2 assistants, and maybe 2 people at the front.
Okay. Good practice. Wonderful practice.
Very good practice. Yeah. It was, pretty much overhead was in control. We were, I was taking home money. I was raising a family at the time, and everything was good. We built our dream home then, and everything was beautiful.
Okay. So what happened since then?
You get inspired.
You do. That's right.
You
really do. And challenged.
And me personally, I played a lot of sports when I was younger, so I still have a little bit of that competitive nature inside of me. And when I see somebody doing better, not that I'm jealous, but I know if they can do it, and that was the motto of my thing. If they can do it, then I can do it.
Absolutely.
So just seeing it is believing it, and it's attainable.
So, so you're in year 2000 or so, and what did you decide to do, and what have you done since then?
Well, basically, I thought at the time, okay, now it's time maybe to add another doctor, because I don't want to work any harder anymore. I want to work less.
Right.
But I didn't know the tools on how to hire the proper associate, and it turned out to be a disaster. I hired my first doctor. I didn't do it correctly.
Right.
I admitted to everybody all the mistakes I have made.
I've done the same thing.
It wasn't a smooth transition from here to there. It was zigzagging along the way. But the associate wound up, and this is a horror story, I'm sure it happened to many people, wound up moving 3 miles away. Just the restrictive covenant was 3 miles. It was 3.005 miles outside the restrictive covenant. Took patients, took staff, and basically, we had 2 directions to go at that point in time. Either we're going to rally and we're going to fight our way out of this disaster, or we're going to be depressed and sit in the corner and say, oh, woe is me, I have no luck.
And your athletic competitiveness said,
we're going to crush it.
Okay, so tell us about it.
So from then on, it was basically we gave the staff that remained an ultimatum. Either you're going to be with us or you're going to be against us. You have to have people 100% committed to you and not the so-called fractional employee.
Right.
So we got back from the meeting and we immediately set out to find a new location.
Okay.
And business-wise, it made more sense for me to own it than to rent it.
Okay.
Even though renting would have been a quicker transition, I think in the long run what we did was much, much better.
Okay.
So I went out, found a piece of property, went through all the environmentals, the engineerings, the town council meetings, to building plans, to architectural plans, meeting with the dental suppliers, and we wound up building the building and moving into it in 2002.
Okay, took you 2 years from start to finish.
Pretty, a little under 2 years, but by the time we put a contract on the land till we actually moved in, was close to about 1 year and 9 months.
Okay, and so now how many treatment rooms did you have?
So we moved from 4, and when initially we opened the office, we had 9 treatment rooms and a 3-chair orthodontic bay. I had learned how to do orthodontics while all this was going on.
So 12 total then?
We're up to 12 total.
9 ops, doctor and hygiene.
Doctor and hygiene.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have an open 3-chair ortho bay. So we dedicated 4 for the hygienist and 5 for restorative.
Okay.
And as a common theme, what we heard here at this meeting is as soon as you moved in,
it's too small.
It's too small. It didn't build it big enough. Build it. Luckily, I had the foresight to build a full-size basement or a lower level.
Okay.
And it was like it's full ceiling height, and we were very, very fortunate because an opportunity came along a year after I moved into the building to acquire another practice.
Okay.
It was unfortunately, it was a sad situation. One of the local dentists in town got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And he really wanted out of his practice in a hurry, and I did everything to accommodate him. I got the deal from start to finish closed in under 30 days.
Wow, wow.
And we got him out, and
well, now your overhead must really gone up when you moved from that smaller office to the larger office. So did your take-home pay reduce, or were you able just quickly to increase your production to cover that when you moved from the old to the new office?
I have a slide which I had just showed, but it was the overhead immediately increased a little over $18,000 a month.
Yeah.
From the little office to the bigger office.
I've been there.
And if I tell you, if it would increase $36,000, knowing what I know today, I would have done it in a heartbeat.
Wow. Okay.
Because we made that up so fast,
yeah.
and so quickly,
yeah.
and just opening the capacity.
Right.
And it was like the field of dreams, because we built it and they came.
Okay.
And this was an area that's not lacking of dentists. It's very, very highly saturated with dentists.
Very competitive. Okay.
Very competitive market.
Okay. All right. So then you acquired this other practice, and then you hired an associate doctor?
We hired an associate doctor when we moved into the new facility.
Okay.
And then I acquired this practice that had 2 doctors in it. One left, and we replaced him with another associate.
Okay.
And then we merged that practice into my practice, but we knew we had a capacity issue. That was the 9 chairs were not going to be enough to accommodate 2 more doctors.
Right. Right.
So I went back to the town, asked for approvals, and I got approvals to finish the lower level. And we put 8 more operatories into the lower level.
Wow. Okay. So now you've got
now we're
how
up.
many?
Now we're up to
17 ops plus a 3
chair ortho bay. Right.
And you've got 4 doctors now.
We had 4 doctors, correct.
Okay.
Myself and 3 full-time associates.
And what year is this?
This is 2004. The associate that we hired when I moved into the new facility did not last. He lasted 2 years and he moved on.
Yeah.
The associate that I hired to replace the owner doctor in the other practice, we had to let go.
Okay.
So it wasn't smooth sailing. But the doctors that have to replace them, now we're doing it the correct way. We're getting the right personalities, and very, very great people. Very, very fortunate to have who I have working with us now.
What do you have now?
Right now we have myself, Dr. Kim, who works with me full time, Dr. Schultz, who's full time, and we just hired a fourth general dentist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What? Do you mind telling us what kind of numbers you've been doing the last few years? I mean, they were incredible in there in the meeting.
We topped out last year. Our monthly average for 2009 was $551,000 per month.
Right.
That was our average. We had some months much better than that, and some months much less than that. But that was the average. Correctly, I think from 2007 to 2009. We increased, I think, almost close to $2 million. I think $1.8 million jump. Yeah. And like I said at the meeting, if you actually back it up and think about the time of that happening, this is probably the worst economy in U.S. history that it occurred
since the Depression, sure.
Probably the worst economy. And I remember having a staff meeting, which I never hardly have any staff meetings, and I said to everybody, turn off your TVs, don't listen to the reports. Right. We are going to create our own success story, we'll have our own economy. What's happening in our little niche here is not what we can control this.
You can control.
We can control our own destiny. And you know what? Until I put the presentation together, I didn't realize how much we had grown since that time.
It was incredible. Yeah. So now you've got the 4 dentists. You've got how many staff?
I think we're over 40.
So you must be getting a lot of new patients in order to manage this whole thing and have the patients do the dentistry on. What are you doing to get new patients?
Well, you know, we do several different types of marketing. Plus, we count on our word of mouth referrals, which make up for about half of our new patients.
Word of mouth, half of it. What are the best things that you're doing? Let me put it that way.
Marketing, I always found, was a very, very tricky subject.
Okay.
I don't think there's one thing that works 100% of the time.
Okay.
I think it has to be what we found and discovered. It's really a synergistic approach, you know.
Many things together.
Many things together. I mean, they'll see your commercial and they'll drive them to your website, and then they'll hear you on the radio, or they'll get a mailer from you.
Yeah.
But it all works. And I think it has to work synergistically, or it doesn't. One piece by itself, I would say, is not the answer. It really isn't. And we keep testing and trying and experimenting, and we're not satisfied with our number of new patients now. We need more. So
what do you get?
We're getting about 200.
200 a month?
A month.
Okay. Wow. And you need more. And they're out there?
Hopefully there.
What service mix? What services do you provide that you would say that really have jumped your production?
When I started sedation, I would say that was a major factor in
oral sedation, IV sedation,
oral conscious sedation was
okay.
a major factor in and I personally, I just love it. I mean, I just love, you know, I know I got a sedation patient schedule to go in there and sit and do all the work and get it all done. And even more than I love it, the patients are actually ecstatic about it.
Great. And was this the docs course that you took?
The docs course, yes.
Do you do IV?
No, I don't.
You're doing the oral sedation, and how many a week of those do you do?
We probably do two, you know, average 2 a week. You know, usually Thursdays are sedation days, but if we have somebody that, we're very customer friendly, if you say you want to come in on Monday and we have a full schedule, you're in on Monday.
Is that right?
You're in on Monday.
Okay, and you do a lot of same day treatment as well?
Same day treatment
and then bring them right, and then just do it right there?
Exactly. I think same day service is the best way to keep an associate busy.
Okay, all right, makes sense. So sedation and same day service have been key for you. Anything else?
Well, we implemented, we went to, I think in 2009, we went to free new patient exam and x-rays in our marketing, and we went to same day service, and the other key factor was we started bonusing the front desk people on their new patients that they booked. And I think those three combined, we jumped $1 million in production in 1 year.
Yeah, wow,
with those three changes that we made. You know, we hired additional staff, you know, to handle the capacity, but that was minor compared to those three. And it's never been easier, frankly, myself. I personally am only working maybe 3.5 days tops. I go in, I see my patients, and I go home. David Ahern commented before, like, he was born to be an associate. This is like being an associate. You don't run anything anymore. It's all out of your hands. The staff does everything. Yes, I am the CEO overseeing the whole operation, but very, 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 very rare do I have to actually step in and say, you know, this is a problem. It's totally under control, and the girls do a wonderful job. And I think the sky's the limit. We'll probably be doing a lot more in the years to come.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. Well, Bruce, thank you so much for being with us.
Appreciate it.
Great.